What's up, hockey fans? It's the fantasy hockey expert here. Today's video, we are snowed in with a wall of snow. As you can see, there is a ton of snow and it's officially a snow day here in Ontario. For my viewers, wherever you are, drop a comment. Let us know if you do have snow as we preview what is less than a week away, an outdoor winter classic game between Penn State University featuring Gavin McKenna against the Michigan State Spartans, featuring a goalie, Trey Augustine, big prospect there, along with Cayden Lindstrom and many other good names, including Porter Martone. So we have a absolutely loaded Winter Classic game that I will be attending in Penn State, and I'm going to be getting into a preview with you guys about what I'm going to be looking for, some things I'm going to be doing while I'm at Penn State, and most importantly, the fantasy hockey implications of this game and the fantasy hockey upside that we're seeing with these prospects. So with that being said, I'm going to get into the video here. You guys are going to see a lot of overviews of some of the depth guys, some of the guys that I've noticed when I'm watching some of the highlights. And really important to know that Michigan State is currently ranked number 2 in the Big Ten, and Penn State's currently ranked number 8. So I'm really hoping we see an upset. I'd love to hear if you guys have ever seen a hockey game like that, but I mean, Penn State's beautiful, and not only am I going to see the game at Beaver Stadium on the football field, but I'm hoping to see what Pagula Ice Arena looks like as well. That is the home of where they usually play out of. So let's get into today's video, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Would you believe me if I said that Penn State and Michigan State have a chance to break outdoor hockey history? Well, they do. And the reason they do is because Beaver Stadium holds a capacity of 107,000 people. Now, the largest outdoor hockey game recorded just over 105,000 people, and that was when the Detroit Red Wings beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in Michigan at Michigan Field. Now, along with that, we actually saw something called the Cold War between Michigan State and Michigan University, where there was 104,000 people attending that game. So if this game sells out, which I'm not sure if it's going to, tickets are a little bit expensive but still reasonable, there's a chance for this to be the biggest game in outdoor hockey history. And I mean, for that game to have a generational hockey prospect in Gavin McKenna playing, I think it is well worth the drive and the experience, no matter how cold it gets. So a couple of cool facts. So Penn State's on a 7-game win streak right now. Gavin McKenna has heated up along with Penn State's stud players, captain, couple cornerstones for that team, and there's a possibility that this is a whiteout game. So I'm not too sure yet, but I assume that the crowd is going to be mostly in white. So I will have to figure out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to wear, maybe grab a Penn State jersey or a hoodie. But it's time to get into the fantasy implications, what you've been waiting for, and that is going over our players in this hockey day, I want to say, on Saturday. And we're going to start off with Penn State, where we're going to look at a file here. Before we go to Gavin McKenna, we're going to look at a file, and that is Luke Misa. So as a Canadian myself, I love to follow guys from the Greater Toronto area. Luke Misa is actually from Oakville, Ontario. So not only did he play on the Mississauga Steelheads / Brampton Steelheads, the team closest to me in the OHL, but he's a Calgary Flames prospect, and he's having a pretty good year. He has 6 points in his last, I believe, 10 games, and he looks really good for that team, not just on the power play, but he looks confident going in the corners, kind of playing any role he has to play on that team, whether that's the third, fourth line, or, the PB2. Now we also have Dane Dowiak, the depth danger captain for Penn State. He recorded a hat-trick on Friday, and if the captain's rolling, then your team's going to roll too. So Penn State's coming off a double victory over Wisconsin, who's ranked number 5 in the Big Ten, which means, Penn State doesn't seem to be afraid of playing anybody. Now, Michigan State, on the other hand, we look at fantasy value and guys who you might want to invest in. The biggest name is Porter Martone, and that builds off my point about the Brampton Steelheads. He's facing off against a former teammate in Luke Misa. Martone was incredible in the OHL, and he looked pretty great at the World Juniors as well. Now, it's going to be a really interesting game because neither team has a ton of experience playing an environment like this, and I can't wait to see what Martone brings, and if he can be a standout guy or if he's going to kind of just play a kind of regular role like he has been. But along with Porter Martone, we also are seeing Cayden Lindstrom, former 4th overall pick to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and he's a guy I really want to see. He actually was teammates with Gavin McKenna on the Medicine Hat Tigers. Now, Lindstrom had a big injury, so he wasn't a big part of that team in terms of production and things like that, but any guy who's drafted in the top 5 of the first round of the NHL draft is worth watching. And so I'm really going to have my eyes on Porter Martone and Cayden Lindstrom, along with the goalie who I'm about to get into, and that's Trey Augustine, draft pick from the Detroit Red Wings, who has won a World Junior. And so he won the World Juniors the same year that, the U.S. just absolutely dominated. You think of the Cutter Gauthier, the Ryan Leonard. Trey Augustine has that call it winning pedigree at a young age, and he's one of the reasons why Michigan State is doing so well. Now, when we look at the other side of things with Penn State, we don't have any big names when it comes to kind of your goaltenders. You have some guys who have attended NHL camps, you have guys who have been scouted and things like that, but you're looking more at the generational name, once again, Gavin McKenna. And with Gavin McKenna, he actually has 29 points in 22 games. He's a threat to score goals, but he's also that playmaker. He has kind of both aspects to it. And I think people want to see him score more goals because goals are kind of the thing people look for. I get it. It's exciting, but he's doing a lot out there, and it's great to see. Now, the one last guy I want to bring up when it comes to fantasy value for the future is Jackson Smith, and he was a top pick to the Columbus Blue Jackets in the most recent draft, and he's going to be a guy that is definitely going to bring you physicality, blocks, shots on goal. Big guy, I believe he's 6'5", and I will be keeping an eye on him to see if he gets any power play time. I think it's going to be really, really interesting because Penn State does have a lot of veterans when it comes to comparing, a freshman who might run the power play a little to a guy like Hayden Fink or Dane Dowiak, the captain for Penn State. So there are a ton of names, as I've mentioned. So now that you guys have an overview of some of the key players that I'll be watching for this weekend, I want to come out with a bit of a prediction of my game score prediction. I think Penn State's going to upset Michigan State, who's ranked number 2 right now. I think that number 8 Penn State's going to do something crazy. I think it's going to be a 4-2 win for Penn State. I think we're going to see McKenna with a goal and possibly an assist, but I think you're going to see a dominant performance from Penn State where they're going to be leading the whole game. You grab the first goal. I expect to see some nice physicality from some of the bigger guys like Jackson Smith, Cayden Lindstrom, Porter Martone, but I do think Penn State's going to hold Michigan State to the outside. I don't think we'll see any crazy goals, any fancy stuff, because it's outdoor hockey. You're going to want to be, a little careful out there. Just you never know how the ice conditions are going to be and how it's going to be different than a regular college hockey ice rink or even an NHL ice rink. So my prediction is 4-2 for Penn State. I'm going to be coming out with a bit of a vlog when I'm at Penn State, so I'll be updating you guys on that. And I'm also going to be posting a preview for the NHL Week 17 slate. Unfortunately, I did not come out on top this past week in my big wager matchup, but much respects to my opponent who showed a lot of sportsmanship. So with that being said, that's going to be it for our video. A little bit of a different one today. And be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.